I'm going to say it anyway. Now let's talk about something that we take for granted every single day. Our 5 senses. Sight, smell, taste, hearing and touch. We learn about them in school, like they're just biological tools to help us navigate through the world, help us not bump into things or burn our tongue on hot soup. You know, you see stuff, you hear noise, you eat food, boom, life. Simple, right? Wrong. These senses aren't just physical tools as we've been taught. They're spiritual gates. So now hold on, I'm not about to go all spiritual on you and all of that. Just give me a minute and you see why. These senses are not just tools to help you navigate the world, like we've been told in schools and basically our entire lives. These senses are entry points into your soul. Every single day, without even realizing it, your soul is being fed. Fed by what you see, fed by what you taste, fed by what you hear, even what you smell. You may not even realize it, but smell plays a role too. Why do you think certain smells triggers memory so fast? For example, you smell your grandma cooking and suddenly you're 8 years old again in her kitchen. That's because smell bypasses logic and hits you straight in the nostalgia. Your senses are gateways, and anything that enters this gate has the power to either build you or break you. Please do me a favor and don't click out of this video because of the bad camera quality and all of that, because I'm about to say something that you will literally have to think about. Let me give it to you straight. You are what you consume. Now, as you know, I'm not really talking about what you eat and what you drink right now. I'm talking about what you hear, what you scroll, what you read and repeat. Let's break this down. So a few weeks back, I was doing YouTube experiments. I was learning YouTube and all of that, and so I had to watch YouTube videos to get experience on how to edit and basic YouTube stuff. And as usual, I digressed from my main focus and decided to have some fun time and just watch something entertaining to pass the time. And that was when I came in contact with these 2 channels. I'm not going to say their names, but the only thing that I'm going to tell you about them is that one word to describe them is chaotic. They're very chaotic. Like, new things was happening every second. It's all so jumpy and somebody's yelling somewhere, It's just, I don't know if you've seen chaotic videos, but if you know chaotic videos, then you should know what I mean, right? So basically, their content is good, very engaging, keeps you hooked to the end of the video. That is the exact kind of videos I need to teach me what I needed to keep viewers hooked to the end of my videos. And while watching those videos, those particular chaotic channel videos too in particular, I fell in love with their content, I fell in love with their vibe, and I decided to subscribe so I can watch more of their videos. And when I subscribed, I decided to watch more of their videos because it was interesting and I like fun. But then, this is where the problem came in. Yes, I enjoyed their videos, but then I noticed that I had started binge watching their videos. I remember sitting down and watching 5 to 6 episodes in just one sitting. I wouldn't look up from the screen until I've watched like 6 different episodes, 6 different videos of that channel. And when it was happening, it was fun. It was, I laughed, I had a good time. It was really good watching those videos for hours on end. But then, I started to notice, actually, my family started to notice a change in my character. And when something changes in your personality, you won't be the first to notice it. It's the people around you that will be the first person to say, hey, you look a bit different, right? So my family, they began to notice this weird character I was starting to embody that wasn't me. And I kind of figured out that, whoa, what is going on? This is not me. When I did something, when I did an action that is no way related to the former me, I'll be like, no, I wouldn't have done that. Like, what is going on? This is not me. So where the hell is this coming from? And then that was when I sat down and I started to think about it because I love journaling. So while journaling, that was when it clicked. And I realized at that moment that what you watch has more effect in your life more than you could possibly ever imagine. Anything you take in as an input, one way or another, anytime, anyhow, go out as an output, right? So what I had taken from those channels I'd watched, those chaotic energy, snappy energy and all of that, it was starting to come out as an output to my environment. And that was when I was like, God, no way, I'm going to have to make a video about this somehow, which is what I'm doing right now. You ever binge watch a show? I mean, you have binge watched a show, like what? And then after watching that show, you look up from the screen and suddenly you feel weird. Not bored, not tired, like just off. You feel distant from the normal world. You feel less hopeful, less patient. You see yourself start embodying characters and thoughts of those characters you just finished watching on screen. That's not random. That is soul programming. As cliche and as stupid and as grand as this may sound, your favorite characters, your favorite influencers, the people you watch on screen aren't just people on screen. They're voices in your spirit. Have you ever watched a character and thought, wow, I relate to her so much. We basically have the same thing going on in our lives. And then along the line, maybe 5 episodes later or all of that, this character does something that you would never do. But then suddenly you're justifying it. You're like, well, they had no choice. They're just being misunderstood. They're not that bad. And now, boom, your moral compass has been recalibrated by a fictional character. I don't know about you, but that's not normal. That is not how we were made to live on planet Earth, for crying out loud. We were made to live without these things, and now most of us can't live without these things. Now, before you roll your eyes, I'm not about to tell you to delete your entire music playlist and not listen to harp worships and rain sounds. But let's be honest, right? Music is very powerful. Lyrics go where words and sermons can't. You can read a Bible verse, you can read the text and forget it, but that one chorus from that one song still in your head since 2019. And it's not strange at all, because that's how it was made to work. Music bypasses the filter and heads straight for your heart. Think about it. Why do you think there is song for every single thing going on in life? When you're heartbroken, when you're falling in love, when you're angry, when you're sad, when you need calming for anxiety, songs that feel like a hug even when there's no one around you to give you that. Songs for seduction, songs to call in the Holy Spirit. Why? And you can't tell me it's because they sound good. Every song has a frequency, and that frequency, one way or another, preaches a message to us listeners. Every song has its own frequency. That is why you can't go to a club. I've never been to a club, but from what I've heard, from what I've read, from what I've seen on screen sometimes, clubs have loud music. You can't go to a club and play worship. Like, it does not match. The frequency is not what people are looking for, but when you play the right song for the right setting, the frequency will be there and everybody will feel it. They'll feel like, yeah, that's the right thing. So basically, music is not just something material. It rehearses ideas in your spirit. And now imagine if those lyrics are full of anger, pride, lust, emptiness. Guess what your inner dialogue starts to sound like? Exactly. You might not even realize it, but the way you talk to yourself starts to mirror the way these songs talk to you, because it's all feeding you. Let me say it again. It's all feeding you. Even the videos you watch just to pass time, just like I did, just for vibes, they're all teaching you something one way or another. Drama pages feeding you conflict. Toxic hustle culture feeding you anxiety. Over-sexualized trend feeding you lust. Perfect looking influencers that look like they're living on that side of the planet feeding you comparison. And then you start to wonder, why is my spirit so restless? Why has my peace gone missing? Why do I feel so foggy? Why am I getting impatient? It's not random, it's diet. And that's the wild part. You are not just watching content, you are being discipled by it. I think I just dropped the bomb here. You should gasp. Gasp right now, gasp. Every video is teaching you something. Every song is preaching a message. Every scroll is an altar. And most people don't even realize they're bowing, liking, commenting, sharing. And most people have become so addicted to these things that they can just look away. Because we've been programmed. The content you consume will either confirm who God called you to be or confuse you into forgetting it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch movies and films and TikTok reels and all of that. I'm not saying you should go and live in the cave or underwater and delete the internet. No, all I'm saying is be intentional. Try to minimize the amount of time you spend on these things, because what entertains you eventually shapes you. And if you're not careful, the things meant to be a background noise will then start writing the main story of your life. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about being conscious of what you're eating and how much of it you're eating.
What the hell?
Now here's the crazy part. Hold on. I think that's not good. I think it's okay right there. Your mind might know how to filter stuff. It might know how to say, I don't want to watch this. No, this is not good for my mental and my emotional health. Your mind might know how to say no to certain things, but your soul, it doesn't. As long as it's gotten through your mind and into your soul, it doesn't say, oh, the mind took in this is so toxic. No, I don't want it. No, it doesn't do that. It doesn't say, this scene is a bit dark, I'll skip it. It doesn't say, wow, this song is really catchy, but it's very toxic, I'll mute it. No, it just eats. It takes in, it stores it, and then later, boom, it shows up in your thoughts, in your attitude, in your character, your boundaries, your decision. Most of us are carrying habits that we don't even remember learning, all because of something that we watched many years ago. By many, I mean like, we're not that old, come on. Let's get practical. You can't consume chaos every day in your life and expect your life to feel calm. You can't binge watch Lost and expect to walk in purity. You can't soak in pride and expect humility to just appear from nowhere. No, life doesn't work like that. Faith comes by hearing, but so does fear. So does insecurity. So does jealousy. So does depression. You are planting seeds in your life with everything you let in. And if you've not noticed, every seed will grow. So let me ask you this. What's feeding you lately? What's shaping your peace? What's forming your standard? What voices are echoing in your head when nobody's around and it's just you? Because maybe it's not your job making you anxious. Maybe it's not your friends or your family or your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Maybe it's your diet. Maybe your soul is starving for truth, starving for peace, and all it's getting is this outside and inside noise and turbulence all day long. So, the main question. Everyone is wondering, how do we shift it? How do we not be so programmed? Well, the answer is you can't be not. You not can't be. What? Jesus. Well, the truth is, you cannot avoid it. It's unavoidable. If the only way you can avoid it is to just put your phone inside the water and boil it, trash your laptop, trash your TV, burn your Wi-Fi, and I'm sure you're not ready to do all of that. So the only way can actually control it is to start feeding your soul on purpose. Feed it silence, not just music or noise, but sometimes just sit down and let it just be you, God, and the sound of nature for a moment. Feed it the word of God, not as an obligation because you are Christian by name, but to remind your soul of what the truth feels like. John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Feed it beauty, feed it nature, feed it peace, feed it conversations that gives life, not drain it. But most importantly, feed it boundaries. Because access is sacred. Not every single thing deserves a seat at your table. We've got to stop living like we're immune to what we consume, because we are not. You're being shaped every day, scroll by scroll, scene by scene, voice by voice. And if you don't choose what enters the gate, someone else will, if they haven't already. So guard it, not out of fear, but out of purpose. Because your soul is not a trash can. It's not a place for everyone else's chaos. It's the only part of you where God lives in. So feed it well, choose what you let in, protect what's forming you, because what you allow in will eventually come out. And at the end of the day, your life will always be the fruit of what you've been feeding it.
A few moments later.
So hit that subscribe button for more videos like this, which is just one reason to actually subscribe, and then like this video, because if you're about to live without liking this video, I don't know why I'm just gonna have to keep saying this, but I will shave your head. And it's not going to be with a clipper. Drop a comment about your own opinion, or just type ouch if you felt dragged. I mean, I did feel dragged, and it's me making the video, so. I'm still on my 60-day monetization challenge. If you don't know what that is, well, I gave myself 60 days to get monetized on YouTube, which now looking back was a very bad idea, because I'm not going anywhere with it, and it's just so, well, let's just see, anything can happen in the span of 2 days. So I'm not giving up anyway. I'm building from scratch, showing the hustle, the growth, and the real grind towards getting monetized on YouTube before the end of the 60-day challenge, which is ending on August 14th, 2025. So if you want to grow with someone in real time, not just with someone who's made it, because everyone in YouTube now on my feed has made it, but this is your moment. So tap in now, hit that subscribe button, and let's see each other on the top. Alright, so stay sharp, stay fed, stay real, stay sleep, stay move, stay peace, stay papa, stay post, stay. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.